South African cancel culture might just be the most powerful in the world.
So we're getting the news that Cyan, Boujee, Sima, as well as Alabuga just got banned on TikTok.
Sisalang, I'm innocent, Sisalang. I didn't do anything wrong. What the hell? Trending, Cyan, Boujee is trending.
In a country where politicians accused of stealing millions keep their seats and corruption cases drag on for decades without justice, ordinary people have found their own weapon, the internet. And when it hits, it doesn't wait for the courts, it doesn't care about due process, it destroys reputations overnight. The latest example is Cyan Boujee, real name Onozuma, a DJ and influencer with nearly 1 million followers on Instagram and more than 1,700,000 on TikTok. She posted a glossy video promoting Alabuga Start, a Russian work program sold as opportunity. But behind the smiling pitch was something darker.
At the center of it all is the program called Alabuga Start program, marketed online as a gateway to career success in Russia. But behind the filters and flashy edits lies a far darker truth, it would seem. Allegations of exploitation, deception, and even human trafficking.
Young women being funneled into drone factories building weapons for the war in Ukraine. The backlash was instant. TikTok filled with outrage, hashtags trended, and within days her account was gone. When she reappeared, it was in tears, apologizing to the nation, calling it a mistake, and insisting she had not been paid. She wasn't the only one. Sima, real name Sima Mangolwani, a musician and content creator with millions of followers, also joined the promotion. Her accounts were banned. Alabuga too was forced to apologize, admitting she hadn't done her research. All of them had been stars online. Now, all of them were facing ruin. Maybe this is a kind of redemption for South Africa, a nation tired of scams, lies and thieves, finally watching influencers face consequences where politicians never do. But it raises a question. When cancel culture becomes more powerful than the law itself, is it justice or is it simply vengeance? Welcome to GreyBTC. Like and subscribe, it would mean the world to me. I talk about power, geopolitics, money and finance. And tonight, we ask, is South African cancel culture fixing what democracy has failed to do, or is it becoming something far more dangerous? Footage is circulating of Cyan Boujee crying into her phone camera. She had nearly 1 million followers, but those numbers don't matter anymore. She is disgraced, banned, and finished. And the reason is simple. Cancel culture in South Africa moves faster than anywhere else on earth. The scandal began with something called Alabuga Start. On TikTok and Instagram, it looked like a dream. Travel to Russia, learn a language, study, and start a career. Influencers like Cyan Boujee, Sima, and Alabuga told their fans it was a golden ticket. Behind the glossy videos was a factory floor. Young women were being funneled into the Alabuga Special Economic Zone, forced to assemble drones. The same drones raining down on Ukrainian cities. Promises of classrooms and paychecks turned into war work under brutal conditions. When the truth surfaced, South Africans exploded with anger. To the public, this wasn't just a scam. It was exploitation mixed with blood. Influencers weren't just careless. They had sold a pipeline that led directly into Russia's war machine. For a nation already tired of scams, corruption, and lies, that was unforgivable. Within hours, accounts were mass reported, content was deleted, and one by one the influencers broke down in apology. But by then it was too late. Because in South Africa, cancel culture doesn't forgive. It doesn't wait for PR statements or excuses. It strikes instantly, and when it does, careers vanish overnight. And in this case, the outrage was clear. Influencers are expected to do their due diligence before promoting anything. Instead, they handed their followers over to a war factory, and for that, the people decided they must fall. In South Africa, cancel culture doesn't move slowly. It hits like a hammer. Cyan Boujee promoted Alabuga Start, and within days her name was dragged through headlines and her TikTok pages were gone. Sima posted the same program and faced the same backlash. Alabuga tried to explain herself, but apologies rarely work once the public has made up its mind. And so the question becomes clear. Is cancel culture good? Or has this been too harsh for the celebrities? On one hand, South Africa is heading in the right direction, holding public figures accountable in a way courts and politicians often fail to do. On the other hand, we cannot ignore that many who mass reported those TikTok pages may have acted out of hate. Influencers often flaunt their wealth, and resentment has always been part of the mob. It wouldn't be the first time cancel culture destroyed someone who was guilty of nothing more than being careless. But maybe that is just reality. Actions have consequences, and in South Africa, influencers should think twice before promoting job offers that could ruin lives. And hopefully, the corrupt politicians are next. If you like this video, you might like this other one. Why South Africa is a warning to the world.